compilation, and I am going to be going through a new character creation, setup of a new character, what you should expect. This is the uh, basically beginning of a remaking of a bunch of how-to videos, where my goal is going to be to help walk people through the basics and then some of the more advanced information about how to play Shroud of the Avatar. Um, I'm under the belief that the vast majority of people that quit in the first 2 weeks of the game are because they are not familiar with how to do certain time saving or economical saving things. And I'm hoping to share some of those tips and tricks as well as show just simply how to do some stuff. So when you're creating, you have a couple of licensing agreements that you have to agree to. I'm gonna actually end up deleting this character, so I'm gonna name it something randomly generated here. Uh, if somebody wants to throw something in chat, you're welcome to. But otherwise, I'm going to a name generator right now to get a name for this character. So my theory behind Let's Plays are very much informational, less just kill time and not show anything. So if this starts to get to a point where it drags and you guys have something you want answered, please comment in the video. Even if it's not live, comment in the video, and I will be more than happy to answer your questions in future. And also, if you watch these live, I'm not going to really schedule them. They're going to happen at random times. Feel free to chat and ask the question. You can see that I have the chat from my Twitch that's going to be live, so you know exactly what I'm answering. Um, Outside of that, my goal here is to help people out. So please feel free to, like I said, ask questions if you have them. If you're not getting the information or you feel like it's not a direct enough answer, um, just ask. All right, let's see here. Oh, there we go. And we're gonna say, there's a fun one. This is gonna be Zripped. We're gonna make it a male, and we're not gonna give it a last name. All these videos are going to be found on Twitch. I'm going to live stream to Twitch. Then I'm going to send them over to YouTube to be watched and cataloged. My goal is that the videos will be anywhere between 10 and 60 minutes, depending on what it is that I'm doing. So the new user experience has dramatically changed in the last year. We've gone from having a dump into Sultan, which is turned to be a very negative experience for most users because they got bombarded. Guild advertisement, vendors with overpriced wares, so on and so forth, into being dumped into other scenes. So 6 months before that, there wasn't even a starter area to go through. So all of what you see here is from the last year and a half. Game's been in development for around 3 years now. So kind of cool to see things change if you've played. If you haven't created a new character for a while, it might be kind of neat to do. Outside of that, everything inside Shroud of the Avatar that you interact with an NPC is going to be text based. Because of how many people struggled with the text based interface, they've gone through and done highlighted keywords that you can click on. So it's a lot more friendly to people that are familiar with WoW or WoW style questing, where you just quickly get an interface and you go 1, 2, 3, and you're done. You don't have to read anything. The goal in this game is to have you read. It is actually to follow the story. There is a story here. So your goal with all of the NPC interactions is to get you a little bit immersed into the story. And there's a lot of people that are not a big fan of that. So the developers are aware that I'm actually 50-50 depending on the game. But anyway, and this is kind of your introduction to that. As you first create your character, your very first step into this process is this NPC chat where you get this view of the NPC and you have this text. You can type your answer or you can click your answer. So I'm going to do a type and then I'm going to do a click. So you can see how both of them work. That being said, I'm going to kind of go through this and just click on everything as quick as I can, get some information, and let's see here, Oracle, manifestation, and mirror. Yep. So I can say goodbye now and walk down. I've picked up the quest that I need, and I'm going to show you the quest log here. There's kind of two sides to the quest log. There's what you're actively working on, and then there's all the information that is related to current stages of quests that you're on. So the very top part of your quest log is going to be the most common place that you're going to go if you get lost. Nameplates on things can be turned on and off with the N key. If you're noticing performance issues, I still find turning off nameplates can matter. Also, during this exact portion of the game, some people used to have an issue with crashing. I haven't heard of that crash in quite a while, but I have noticed that I have crashed, which I just did. I have crashed every time I zone in this latest release. So if that happens, it's something that has started for me just this last release, and I'll get back into the game pretty quick and easy each time. And you get to watch me log in. So character creation, though, that's where you actually get to put in your information on facial features, eye color, hair color, the whole 9 yards. So let's see if we can load that this time around. Zoning has been kind of hard for me lately, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be fixed. They're completely redoing how zones work, how they get the information loaded for loading into a zone, and how they unload zones over the next release or two. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of my crashes will go away. Also, I did take a picture of one of my crashes and send it to the technical director and kind of tease him a little bit, and he said Unity's fault. So anyway. Just play around with this a little bit so you guys can see how it works. This is basically your paper doll, and UO players will know what that is. Your character panel for people that play newer games, but you can select whatever you want here, and we'll play around with this. And where's my mohawk? I'll give him a mohawk and some facial hair, and there we go. So there's a lot of stuff you can control here. Some of these features are very new. Some of them have been here for a little while now, but you can customize your face quite a bit. Now, there is the ability to get to a new you once you get into the game, but it costs. The cost doesn't have to be real-world money. It can be done through trade in the game, but it costs crowns, which will end up being something that you either buy off the add-on store or it's something you trade with a player vendor. So now I've gone from a ghost form into this character that I created, and I need to kind of continue on my path. There's a couple of different stops I can make. This is an Ankh, and the Ankhs are where you're going to go to resurrect as you die in the world. And this is an Oracle's confirmatory, and you're going to go here to make your confessions and see what you're doing good and bad. So it's kind of nice to know what they look like. So they're introducing you to them early on in the game. Ankh's how you get resurrected, and then the Oracle is where you get to know kind of your virtue status. On top of the virtue status, if you visit the Oracle every day and answer how you're doing with your virtues correctly when queried, it gives you a little kick of some gold and experience. So we will do truth, love, truth, I think. Let's see here. this query that it sends you through is to pick what path you want to follow, and it'll kind of kickstart you into that virtue quest. The game is based around one of three paths and then a final concluding path for all three. And you can go through them all, but it's a lot easier if you pick the one that you want to or haven't done before to do it now. Once you start down a virtue path, your character actually gains metadata of virtue, and that data is used to decide how NPCs interact with you. So if you are an extremely honest person and you say, I am doing ABC, then the NPC will most likely believe you. And if you're dishonest, sometimes NPCs won't even talk to you in the first place. So going around and stealing a bunch of stuff is a great way to have NPCs not want to talk with you. Anyway, entry area. I actually have yet to play through the truth side, so I thought this would be kind of fun to get here. You can see the pop up notifications. These are really good to pay attention to. The pop-up notifications were added because a lot of people were struggling with where to go and how to get out of the entry scenes. These initial scenes right here, you have to play through them to start the game. There is no, I want to just bypass all this and get right into PvP or anything like that. You have to go through this initial step to be able to play the game. So right away, you have to decide if you're going to be honest or not, because this guy's asking for your name. So as I said, I'm going to answer truthfully to everything. I'm going to go ahead and do it. If you want to play a villain, then I recommend you lie at this point, because that's anti-virtue. So anyway. All right, so now I've got a little friend to help me out a little bit. You can also see that I've got some skills that I can use, a heal, an attack. You'll notice the colors of the skills in this game will actually help you know what you're clicking on. Utility skills are blue, beneficial skills are green, and aggressive skills are red. So as you learn what you're supposed to do, it's very easy to kind of out of the corner of your eye pay attention to what's popping up where and kind of know, okay, I've got an attack readied on slot 1. So some of the stuff with deck building has changed as well. Skills are, hang on a second here. Skills are actually decided based off of the skill points you put into a specific ability. The more you use it, the higher it gets. Every few skill points at the beginning, it's going to get a lot more powerful. As it progresses, you'll need to put more skill points in for the power. So your first 40 skill points are pretty important. Then your next big jump is going to be at 80. And then after that, it's just a slight power increase as you go on. So anyway. Standard WASD for walking. You can use your mouse for looking. A lot of people struggle with the way that it is right now. I actually like this free look. I am not a fan of stone walls appear. You should look inside. So I actually did not pay attention to the direction it said, but I will go ahead and pay attention now. To the west, stone walls, building. Anyway, let's see here. To the west behind a fence, stone walls. You can see down inside of my, I'll pull this out so you guys can actually read this here. If you miss a notice, you can actually look down inside of your chat window, and the actual information is going to be loaded in miscellaneous. So you've got different chat filters you can put on different logs, but your messages that pop up are going to be put in miscellaneous. So I'll load this one here. Take a look inside. So he's saying that I need to go to a spot that I don't even see exists real quick, but I'll go ahead and do it anyway. I don't have a weapon yet, dude. I was told to get a weapon, but okay. Well, I was doing that. I was headed that way when they told me to come talk to you. So this guy here is kind of scrounging around. He's going to dig through the corpses and try to take stuff. There used to be a weapons rack right there, and I'm guessing they moved it, but I'll talk to him anyway. So I used to have a weapons rack right here the last time I did a playthrough. Let me kind of dig for a second and see if I see one, or if it just got moved and it's right outside of my direct field. Everything is like a key. If it tells you need to get something and you don't have it, then it won't let you go past. I'm a bigger fan of puzzles and keys like this than anything else. So if you're a person that is not a big fan of these types of keys, there are parts of the game that you can avoid. Oh, without backup steel, trust me on that. There should be a spare sword on the whack over by the barn. So it says by the barn. I'm going to assume that's the barn over there. Hey, what do you know? There's a weapon rack by the barn. Here's my paper doll. I'm going to go ahead and grab this weapon and throw it on. And then I should be able to go over and get out of here. First thing you're going to find is a bridge that you're going to actually have to fight your way across. If you have your companion dude with you, he'll help fight. But for anybody that's played the game before, it's not really necessary to have him. But anyway. He's asking for my name again. So another chance to tell the truth or to lie. I'm going to go ahead and tell the truth again. Well, if I could spell, it would help. All right, so I need to go find a dagger. What should I do, or the word help will kind of key you into where you need to go next. If you have not already figured it out and you feel like you're at the extent of reading through or figuring out, then you can just say, what should I do or help? There's a quiver of arrows. I like arrows. I like a bow. And more arrows are always good. Alright, so it says the dagger is here, but I don't see the dagger. I see a lemon. Let's look maybe inside the building. Nope, no dagger. Let's go see if we have to talk to the collector first, who's rummaging through all the corpses. Again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. As soon as I get out of this area, I'm actually going to kill this and go to a different one and kind of explain a little bit on getting your bearings on the overland map. So the lemon might be important. I'm up for looting anything on here because I'm going to be deleting this character, so... There's the word humans that didn't get said. There we go. If you didn't notice, by the way, keywords that come up that you need to be able to press if you haven't pressed them yet are highlighted in white. Um, and the fastest sequence to kind of get through everything is to be right underneath the bottom of your chat and clicking the keywords down here. And it will actually type the word for you into chat to the NPC and key up whatever it's supposed to say. So I just went through and clicked everything as quick as I could to cycle what I needed to do in my task list, basically. So I've already double clicked the body, but I'll go ahead and do it again. What do you know? So lots of different stuff in here. There's a notice on there. Not on there. Not on there. So let's go ahead and grab those and see what happens. There we go. I'm going to leave them in there. So explore the village elder's house, which I'm going to assume is this guy right here. Village elder, I wonder what could be found within. So the scavenger is not going to be the most trustworthy. Dagger is an important clue. Double click to pick it up. Yeah, there's the dagger. See, that's kind of tricky. I'm not a big fan of stealing things, so I'm not going to take it unless I have to, but I will read the letter. So now I'm going to go ahead and leave the village. Wait, did you want me to take the lemon, Merrick? Because if you really want me to take the lemon, I'll go back and take the lemon. But you got to say it before I get out. There's probably about a 10-second delay here, so I'm giving you a chance to type. Not much longer. Not much longer. Gotta go quick. I'm going to say dagger. Dagger. All right, I said dagger. Lemons are bitter. Leave it. All right, so now that I've said the word dagger, which I didn't show you was a keyword and I didn't talk through it correctly to get to it, but essentially if you say dagger to him, it just kind of skips through this exit quest and lets you get out. So now I get to start fighting, and my little companion helper dude will lazily fight next to me, kind of, sort of, a little bit. As you're fighting, there are certain skills that you have to target. Your weapon has to be targeted as well, so pay attention to where you're positioning your character and how you're facing. A lot of people struggle with this combat system because it's very hybrid. I personally really like it. It's very intelligent. If you are paying attention to how it works and know how it works, it's really easy to quickly make minor changes. It also caters toward intelligent gameplay because if you are getting ranged attacked by something and you jump behind, it'll either line of sight it or reduce its damage if you're only slightly out of the way. A lot of games do 0 to 100% on line of sight. I like slightly reduced damage. That said, at this point in development, there are still some models that don't have their hitboxes correctly drawn, so you might notice some cover warnings that are a little bit quirky. They're fine-tuning them exceptionally fast. There used to be a bunch of them about 2 or 3 months ago, and over the last month, I've seen quite a few of them get resolved. So, anyway, I'm gonna sheath my weapon with Z. Z will put you in and take you out of combat. If you go to talk to an NPC while your weapon is drawn, it will treat you as if you're trying to attack it. Usually make a comment and tell you, put your weapon away, don't attack me. But anyway, so we're across the bridge. We're going to talk to this guy. Yep, we're going to go to Airy. I'm going to click all the words here real quick. And I thought there was one more with him, but anyway, I guess not. Let's be off then. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't it a boat down here that I was supposed to take? But again, I usually do the other path, so I might be supposed to leave in a different direction for this one. I'm really nutsy about how I usually start my characters. This is why I'm going to delete this one. Let's see. Take the dagger to Airy. Southeast of here. There's southwest. Well, if area is southeast, that's the direction I came. That's kind of a little tricky there, guys. It's not a very good direction, but I will head south because that looks like a moon gate. So moon gates are lunar rifts. They're heavy magic. This one is not on, it appears, but they're heavy magic, and because of their heavy magic, they have altered the landscape. The lore behind moon gates is that the land actually erodes slower around them. So I'm not sure why this is a pit as opposed to an elevation. They usually are elevated, but it changes the terrain because they're very powerful magic, and the magic comes from the moon essentially. A lot of the stuff that you find in this game is very space oriented, so time of day, how the weather is going to affect your skills, abilities, your crafting, all kinds of good stuff. Head out to the overland map. I'm going to toggle off, toggle on. I'm going to change the name of this. It says to go to Airy. If this doesn't put me right into Airy, then I will probably wait a minute, travel to Airy, and then toggle back on. But I'm going to toggle back on and change this to essentially introducing somebody to how to navigate the overland map and how to use Soda Map. So feel free to stick around if you want, or if you are needing to go, thank you for watching, and you can tune in on YouTube later. Watch it after the recording because I'm going to be cataloging all these, and I'm going to probably have about 20 to 30 of them that I make. And my goal is just to kind of introduce people to the game and get them through some of the basics. So thank you. I'll be right back.